Frotteristic disorder is a form of paraphilia. The word frottage comes from the French word frotter, which means to rub or to put pressure on someone. Now, the term in modern day usage is now associated with obtaining intense sexual arousal as a result of touching someone or rubbing one's genitalia area against another person who, most importantly, does not give consent. Who does not give consent? Greetings. My name is Jude, the dude on Mamigbe, and this is Hello Port Harcourt. Now, we start off with space and indeed engagement, because as social animals, we always interact in what we now call public spaces. Yes, in your private house, you can do almost anything you want, but in public, when you are in view of other individuals who necessarily might not be your immediate family members, there are certain etiquettes that one is expected to have. 2 years ago, we had a conversation, where I made mention about people who get into vehicles and then they like to just rub their bodies against other people. There been jokes in the Nigerian space where, you are traveling from Lagos to Port Harcourt and then the man now decides to sleep. He now puts his head on the woman's chest because he's sleeping. Or if you're traveling, yes, I'm using the word traveling. If you're traveling, from Agege and you're getting to the mainland, sorry, you're going to the island, for example, it's a journey plus. You could spend close to an hour on that journey, go to Third Mainland Bridge. So sometimes you will sleep. So imagine you are sleeping and the guy now puts his head on your chest as a woman. You might feel that's uncomfortable. Most men will open their hands. Oh, okay, a lady is coming down. But you see, by and large, whenever these actions are carried out, particularly without the person's consent, it's a problem. Now, there is a disorder, frotteristic disorder, spelled FROTTEURISTIC. Frotteristic disorder, right? And it is an intense arousal that people get when they touch people in public. So when you are accused, this used to be what. In fact, this is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, why I personally, and I know some other people who became worried about going to crowded events. So you want to buy your tickets, to get into Bole Festival, for example. You want to get into one big show I'd like to do during Christmas. I didn't like that. You know why? Because you'll be pushing against someone. And whether it's a guy or a girl, at some point in time, because of the sheer number, your parts get to touch. Sometimes it's because of the smell. I am averse to horrific smell. And some of you stink to high hell, right? But some people gain pleasure. And this morning, my question is this. I know it's a disorder, but I also know that there are some people who, in this Port Harcourt, who just like to be a menace to society. So, how do we discourage inappropriate conduct in public is my question. From those people who will be in the bus, particularly guys, you're in the bus, there's space, but no, you want to gum buddy with the lady, particularly if it's a pretty lady. You want to gum buddy, and then you go to the markets. We keep on talking about this. You're holding the woman, and some of these traders, look. There's a difference between when you tap somebody, Oga, come by. Some of you literally hold this girl, this woman, and say, no, I get them. You're physically, restraining the person. And in recent times, so I've heard that it is led to fisticuffs. People have been punching people, women have been slapping hands. I don't know if we've had to degenerate to this point, but it is happening. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, how can we discourage inappropriate conduct in public spaces?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0003, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0007. At Nigeria Info, PH at Nigeria Info. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info. PH at Nigeria Info. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. WhatsApp is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. The last number I just called out is strictly for the reception of messages. All right, please don't call that number. We're talking about inappropriate conduct in public spaces, particularly for our females who apparently experience this more than men. I know some men don't want to hear this. No, I'm not trying to be a pickup. I'm not trying to, as it were, paint you in a bad light. But the truth remains that more women experience this particular challenge than you, the men. How many of you men have gone into a taxi and then a lady has to touch your chest? How many of you have been in the taxi before? And because, yes, the taxis are small, in a bit to be a bit more comfortable, you stretch your hands so that, you can lean over the headrest. How many of you have had the experience of another man now putting his hand on your shoulder? Because you are sharing a taxi. Most men, most of you listen to me, have not experienced this. And women have. And it is frightfully alarming, the prevalence of this particular action in our space. There's a fine line between this disorder, talking about futuristic disorder, right, and then sexual assault, because it's very difficult to differentiate one from the other. Anyway, let's get to it now, shall we? Because of the population than it is in Port Harcourt. Almost every day, I can say this very boldly from my time in Lagos, that women get assaulted every day in Lagos, whether it is in the buses, whether it's in their taxis, or even when you take your own drop, somebody finds a way to want to touch you inappropriately in Lagos. I think a law should be made about this, and I think, in all honesty, Jude, that women should be allowed to defend themselves. Jane in Port Harcourt. Jane, thank you very much. 9.3, good morning, please. Oh dear, it's a drop call scenario. Apologies. Hello, Port Harcourt, good morning. Sorry about that. Please, when you're calling us, turn down the volume of your radio set, all right? And there are two numbers I've given out. I'll call the third, 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0002. All right, so that's 0002, 0007, and 0003. All right, so 0817 923 0003. All right, you can call those numbers, and I'd love to have you join me in this conversation. 92.3, good morning.
Good morning, Jude.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, about this, I'm Princess.
Welcome.
The most annoying people is the conductors, usually those loading vehicles. They literally hold your hands and be asking you, "Are you not going? Fine girl, come and enter." And I just wonder. Sometimes I threaten them. I tell them you disappear with me. It's funny, but
does that work?
They'll be like, "You be fine girl now." They want to hold you, and it's so annoying. And sometimes I literally slap them. I slap their hands, and oh God, it's annoying. I don't know what to just do about it.
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Something has to be done. We need to be able to find a solution. You can't really be going around. You can't be going around your city feeling.
They even come to hold me. I'll first of all like dodge, you understand, and shun them off.
Wait, hold your hand or hold you on your waist?
They want to like hold your hands in a very romantic way. And
in public?
In public. Oh.
Wow.
It's just annoying. Some sassy.
Oh dear. Sorry, that's a drop call. Apologies, but at least we got to hear from you. Thank you very much. We have a break coming up. I have two very interesting messages I just dropped. I'm trying to filter them. And I'll get back to you when we come back from this break. Stay tuned. If you just joined us this morning, this Thursday, Valentine's Eve, we are talking about inappropriate actions or activities in public. Stay tuned. This morning we are talking about inappropriate behaviors, actions, activities in public. And now my question is this: how do we discourage inappropriate conduct in public? And we're talking about Port Harcourt in particular. So you have the background of the story, and just in case you didn't and you're just joining us, welcome. Let me give it to you. Now, there is a term called frotteuristic disorder. I'll say that again: frotteuristic disorder. It is spelled Frotteuristic. Frotteuristic disorder. Now, it is the intense, as frotteurism, it is a disorder of which is a form of paraphilia, which is characterized by the sexual arousal from touching or rubbing against non-consenting videos back in 2012, 2013, 2014. So that 2014 until 2018, that 4-year period, right? When a lot of people started to embrace social media in Nigeria, and they were using, this was just before, the, what do you call it? The lockdown of 2020 and the protest here in Nigeria. There were videos, complaints. It even got to the news. When we'll be in the banking hall, some people come, they shout, "Bank, you never give my money." And then sometimes you hear a woman, scream. At least I have had that experience. The woman turning behind and warning the man that you better behave yourself. You better behave yourself. What's wrong with you? Yes, we all used to go to the bank to queue for hours, sometimes 40 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours to withdraw your money, to solve your ATM issues, your card, your debit or your credit card issues, to solve transfer payments. And so we used to be on lengthy lines. And if you were, like I was, in an area of dense population, so Uniport, for example, where you want to pay school fees, there's a long queue. You must have had this experience. So you're queuing, everybody's trying to rush, and then your bodies start to come together. And during that experience, some people gain extreme sexual arousal. And then you not find some men will be intentionally coming close, particularly to a female. You rarely see, I'm a man. I rarely had that experience with a guy, trying to come close to me when we're trying to queue to use the ATM. I rarely had that experience. But you find some guys, it's when there's a female, particularly a buxom lady, in front of them, that's when they remember that, no, don't give space. Don't give space. Sister, cover the space, cover the line. Hurry up. I don't have all day. And they're literally breathing down the neck of this female. It's very offensive. And then, and let me say this before I forget, and go back to the phone lines and read your messages. What some of you men don't realize is you are causing a traumatic experience for that lady. It is not cute. It is not a sign of your attractiveness or of their attractiveness. It is not you appreciating them. No. It is offensive, because then some of the ladies feel violated. They ask themselves, what did I do for this man to not come and rub against me? It's wrong. So, how do we discourage it?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
01793 01793 0003 01702 0817923 0003 at Nigeria Info PH at Nigeria Info PH on X. WhatsApp is 08090306416 08090306416 is the call screener. So when you get through, just drop your name and your location, and we'll have a great conversation with you. Now, some messages came through. Let me read them. So whilst they are being screened, I can see the lights flashing in front of me. Good morning, Jude. This thing is becoming too much in our society, mostly in my 3 and my 1 bus stop. Those conductors don't care if you are someone's wife or not. They'll be holding you. God's time. From Rumokuta, God's time. Thank you very much. And this one says, good morning. The reason why this continues is because the men in our society continuously aid this character. If a man stands up for his sister or for his wife or anybody who's a female in their family against such things, it will start to reduce. When I was younger, Jude, some boys tried to touch me in a way that I didn't like on my way from school. I told my elder brothers, and their head no correct normally, came. Really? Your brothers' heads were not correct normally. Anyway, say they came with me the following day to to school to look for those people, and then they give them a piece of their mind. They want them to stay away of me. And since that day till I left school, not one boy touched me inappropriately. If more men stand up for women in this society, this thing will stop. But because they all like to do it, you continue to have this problem. Why should any man come close to me in the market and touch me? For what? She does have a point. What if more men stood up to challenge this behavior? In that case, her brothers came to school and, hey, told these people off. In schools, we see this. In market spaces, we see this. At the banking halls, we see this. At our places of recreation, concerts, and all, we see these things happening. And obviously, on the buses and on taxis, people do this. It's becoming very worrisome. Like I said, 2 years ago, we had this conversation. I felt, okay, maybe people are wiser or better. But to hear that it was happening, I know the challenge with people going to the market and then holding you. I don't know how that's going to stop, right? But how can a girl be walking past you? And then that's the time you see 3 or 4 men. They want to pass behind her, rub against her because the place is narrow. Why? 017-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Tiago says, Jude, I remember when I gained admission into Uniport 2011. I went to Echo Bank in Choba, Uniport, to pay acceptance fee. Jude, I saw this live. We were on a long queue, and the girl was telling the guy behind her, please move back. After an hour, we saw this guy had ejaculated. Oh my goodness. Behind us, girl. I felt he was aroused and shamelessly ran out of the banking hall. The girl was stained and ashamed. It was very embarrassing. My gender, some of us are shameless. QED, Chiagoze, sec of Bole and Fish. 90.3, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, please.
I'm Audie.
Welcome, Audie.
I actually had a situation of playing. So Nigeria, some Lagos, Durham, and English. That's decided, and I felt so uncomfortable. She was rubbing. I was actually a teen then.
Oh dear.
I felt so uncomfortable. I think it was my first international flight, so I didn't know to be getting up, reporting or saying something.
So you didn't speak. You didn't speak up. You didn't challenge him.
Like, I basically had trauma. Once coming back, I had to play nothing. That kind of passenger next to me. If I was there now, I'll either have to opt for another state or probably slapping or something. I don't think it's something that anyone should experience. It was really bad. Like, whenever I think about flying in a plane and sitting, I want to sit close to the window. So he would want, okay, I'll sit close to the window. Open the window.
Just to touch you.
This is my problem. But if it's now, I'll probably slap him. Or I will have to search for another place. So I think when you go through such things, you don't just keep quiet. People keeping quiet and say it's okay, something that we don't want, something that happens. If it's something you need to slap the person's hand or shout at the person spontaneously, I think you should do it. So that others will hear and take correction. They will not want to be embarrassed. So I think
but the problem, Audie. Hello, can you hear me? Oh dear. The problem with that, with hitting somebody, is that a violent outburst. Like they say, violence begets violence. We don't promote violence here. But what do we do? Muriel is on the line from Africa. Muriel, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, I remember we had this kind of conversation about early last year as well. I've had my fair share of these things. And the market, and even as a single, when I was a single, even as a married woman, they don't even care if you're married or not. When the other guy, I was just passing and they will just grab your hand. He held my back. You will just be left between, should I slap this hand or should I, please get your hand? What reaction will I? He will just hold your hand. My back come now, between the find them my shop. So the other one at the front say, I beg, not the woman it be, I beg pass. They will start insulting you. If men can stand up, you just imagine your own sister or your wife and your fellow men are harassing her like this, you don't like it. My daughter told me that there was a guy in her department, he's a year ahead of her, and he came to her and he toasted her, he charged her, because there is nothing we don't discuss. And she said he charged the guy. She says, Mommy, she see the guy. What kind of shop for any of these things? I just said, okay, we laughed. And she said, I was passing the other day. He was with some guys, and he just was telling the guys that he was saying it very loud so that she will hear. That see this one, her body don't they come out, she don't they fresh, she don't they do wrong. Which name did they call it that time? What should they say? Name that they call it now? That now so girl, this that she. My daughter said, I said, thank God you did not respond because out of frustration, they can do anything. You refuse them. If you respond now, he can do anything. He can decide to even lay his hands on you to beat you up. So she just left. She called me because she was broken. I said, don't mind him. I tried to cheer up. I said, don't mind him. If you don't complain, it's out of frustration that you didn't
you accept him.
So these are the things that are happening. And some of them, that when they do these things, they actually get feeling from it. Some can even do it jokingly, but some of them, when they grab your hand, some can even go as far as holding you in the waist. Madam, come now, sit down.
Yes.
It is so painful. If you go to my one market on that flyover, you want to pass through is there many yes, education. To pass through that barricade and go in. Oh, those guys selling slippers, carrying jeans. It is an issue. You have to boycott them, maybe pass somewhere else. If men will stand up for other men, your follow shop, their neighbors, will you stop it? Stand up for stand up for women. Because most cannot protect ourselves from these things, but they are the ones that can. Please let them try. Imagine your daughter or your wife in the shoe of that woman, and please stand up for the woman that has been harassed. Thank you, Jude.
All right, thank you very much. So yes, similar to the message I read earlier, the lady who said, when she was in school, her brothers had to come to school to warn the guys who were, touching their sister, who tried to touch their sister. So if more men, stand up when they see something like this, you're in a taxi, and the lady complains, oh God, shift, move, why they touch me? If other men who are in the vehicle, reprimand that man, it will probably become much better. Because if you paid attention to the penultimate caller who said, look, on her travels, she felt so uncomfortable. And imagine you, having to fly or travel, and then you are praying, God, please let somebody like this not sit down near me. Once again, I'm not trying to, label majority of the men as evildoers or, Neanderthals, but the women cannot be lying. Divine, speaking to us from Woji. Divine, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning, please. Happy Valentine's, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Same to you.
Good morning.
Two ugly incidents happened, one last year and one yesterday.
Oh, dear.
Yesterday, after I dropped my children in school, I decided to park the car in the house. I said, let me get to Elengbu to do something very urgent. So when I got to Rumukushi Junction, I started the keke, I entered. I stayed in front because there was a lady carrying a child. I didn't want to inconvenience her. Suddenly, a young girl was about to enter the keke, and the driver held her waist. I said, enter here. So I jumped down and I said, my friend, do you know that's harassment? You don't try this to other people's sister. While I was talking, you will not believe what I'm telling you, Mr. Jude. You get your guy, don't do now. Look where they go. I felt embarrassed. I'm trying to stand up when you say you don't do now. Make where they go. So why are you this? It's not your case. That's what it meant. So I just let go. Well, if it were my sister, I would not accept that. That's the truth. So, second one that happened, that was last year. I was traveling. You know the distance from here to Benin, Mr. Jude?
Yes.
I didn't drive, so I took Amelsa Transport Company. On our way going, I sat on seat number 5, close to the door. Seat number 3 was close to the other side of the window, while seat number 4 was in between. The girl that sat in between us, me and that elderly woman, old woman, was horrific. It was a nightmare. And I only wish I had an opportunity of taking another bus that day. I would have done that. I didn't mind. She was half naked. Totally, her laps were open. You could just see what she's wearing on
underneath.
So I decided on myself, well, I don't have a choice now. Let me keep looking at my right-hand side. At a point, I looked and looked. My neck, I was feeling pain on my neck. I kept looking on my right hand until I got to Ahoda, down to Bayelsa. And suddenly, I said, excuse me there. Can you please, if you have a handkerchief, cover your eyes? Dress well. You know what she told me? Okay, if you don't want to sit down for you, change your seat too. And then the old woman replied and said, my son, why you look bush? You pay the same amount we paid. Look, if you not, why you look bush? Not being one thing naked, look at if you still naked.
Wow.
I still did it. The one guy at the back said, good man, I beg, make I change your seat now, make I feel what you feel. That was an embarrassment. For me, that was harassment. You don't dress like that in a public bus, not your personal car. Even if your personal car, if you choose to mad, just go come out mad now, make you know say you don't mad. That was embarrassing. And some persons, you're like the one of you stand up for them, it becomes an embarrassment. But for me, I will always stand up for any of such because it could have been my daughter. That is the truth. It could have been my sister that will happen to in the street. So I must find a way to stand up. Even if it take me anything, I don't mind calling the police, but I will stand up. But whereby you say it's not my case, my dear Jude, I will walk away.
Yeah, I can understand that narrative. Divine, thank you very much. I can understand that narrative. You know, Blessed is on the line from Alu. We have Dakuku in the chat. Blessed, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Jude.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's.
I wish you the best, my brother. Pertaining this harassment to women, men touching them one way or the other. See, let me tell you, we should all know what is going on in this country because there's no discipline. If there is discipline, who are you to molest woman? No matter how she dress naked. Some of them dress naked, which is attracting some of irresponsible men. So now, no matter how you see the lady or the girl, if there is discipline, you will know that if I did something of this nature, there is warrant that I will face. So it's better for me not to
get it. Yeah.
And besides, the way our women are dressing this time around is totally improper. It's improper. That's why we see some conductors touching them, some loaders touching them.
But Blessed, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, right? I have seen some men, right, who come to the bus park. They wear only singlet, wear chain. In their mind, they're looking like fine boys. But the conductors don't touch them. The women who are selling akara don't touch them. They're only wearing singlet too. They're going to the same bus with me from Jibowu down to Festac or wherever it is I'm going to. They never touch them. Okay. But the girl who wear trousers, even if she's wearing a skirt, why is her hand always itchy to touch them? Why?
Thank you, my brother. As you are now, you are a man. I'm a man. What you will wear that will attract me as a man? Are you getting me? So there are some certain ways that women will wear that attract men. So all those things, you need to precaution yourself. You need to be self-disciplined. If you have self-discipline, no man that will be seeing you the way you dress. If you dress normal, see all the people that are covering their body finish. No nonsense person that will touch them.
Are you sure?
So as it stands now, so what I'm trying to tell our guests or our women, to do the needful, to dress proper. As I'm a married man, I have wife. My wife cannot go out with half naked. Are you getting me? My wife cannot go out with half naked. She knows that it's improper. She can't put on that kind of dressing. So most of the things that is happening now, some girls can't fit it by themselves. When they will leave part of the chest open, some you carry this. No, my brother, it's not wrong. So the disciplines will come from our government to stop all this harassment. It's a big assault to women, but it's not okay. That's my own concern. Thank you very much, Mr. Romano.
All right, blessed. Sorry. Okay, all right. So now we're getting more views on this. Augustine says, "Good morning, Jude. This is an important matter to deliberate on. Last night when I went to buy something in the market, I intentionally tossed a random girl on her shoulder. Guess what, Jude? She was mad at me. I was so ashamed of myself. I went to apologize again and again, and she angrily looked at me. I regret my actions. I will not try it again. So anyone that's into this should stop. Women are not items to be touched anyhow." And Augustine, what made you to go there and just touch her? Were you trying to ask her a question? I don't understand. This story is not exactly complete, please. Yes, we need more insight on this. WhatsApp. We're moving on to WhatsApp. How do we discourage this? The ladies should learn to dress appropriately and decently. Indecent dressing causes public harassment. You are addressed the way you dress. That's from Godwin. Interesting. But look, I know this seems to be the line a lot of people toe under this conversation, right? Oh, the girl was well dressed, nothing will happen. When we were in school and we were queuing and people were touching the girls, were they inappropriately dressed? They were not. In the marketplaces, most women are not inappropriately dressed. Let's be honest. Some are. Some wear, really revealing tops. Yes, but they were not inappropriately dressed. Now, if that's the case, it seems to me, however, that probably when it was raining and people were having brains and consciences, some of these men had umbrellas on. I don't know. David in Port Harcourt, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning, David. Happy Valentine's.
Well, I would celebrate Valentine now. All right, this is an interesting topic anyway. And indeed, we experience, especially ladies, experience its behaviors virtually almost every day. Let me start with that of the Romolags, those guys floating, selling things by the roadside. Why they are trying to sell, they try to drag these ladies to themselves. They talk to people politely, not to drag them by their hands, and holding them by their waist.
What waist?
They will start, saying this is on you. Although sometimes I feel that these ladies attract these things to themselves. Just like 2 days ago at Umola, there's this lady. What she was putting on was crazy. My brother, if now you said you go even turn to ask whether my mama on this one. She's very busty, but she was extremely naked. So all the taxi drivers, we were just, paying at her.
Yeah, David, see, everybody will look at a woman who is, endowed and exposing themselves, but there's no because once again, David, before I let you go, our forefathers, they were walking around naked, though, or at least half naked. They were not touching themselves.
No, we are meant to understand that women are the mothers of civilization. So, at that time, they were still trying to get themselves civilized. But as regards to something that somebody talked about, men don't get attracted to men. My brother, I felt victims some time ago. I was very young. A man saw me at my garage. I was standing tall, well dressed, good looking, up till now anyway. So he stopped. I thought it's somebody I knew. He asked me to get if I'm going towards Rumola. I said yes. So I never knew that this man was something else.
Eh?
The man was driving. I was using his right hand to touch me, my shoulder.
Hey!
I said, guy, what did happen here?
Hey!
Calm down for this photo. So That was my first experience.
No, what?
I said, thank God, though.
David, I hope you are safe.
Huh?
I hope you are safe.
I'm very much safe. No, I get, irritated with people like that.
Okay. All right, David, thank you. Oh, my God. There's Emerald from Ada George. Whoo. Okay. Anyway, when we come back, I'll wrap up by reading some of your comments on this matter. It shouldn't be something we sweep under the carpets. No. Oh, by the way, happy Valentine's.